Hey there, and welcome to a garden week. So I thought I would vlog every day this week and just kind of share how the garden is going, a week of winter, spring gardening life. Basically it's spring, but I'm kind of saying winter still because technically our last frost isn't till, well, it's saying now 2 weeks. Right around the beginning of April is right when our last frost is supposed to be. So we're really just in the last few weeks here of cold weather. It's definitely very spring-like here. But actually tonight we're gonna have a low of 27. So we've been having some warmer days. Today it's in the 50s. We've been having warmer days, but a few cooler nights. And I have, of course, taken off all the row covers. I'm not really ready for lows around 27 Fahrenheit. That's a bit chillier than I would like this time of year. But my plan is just to really water everything heavily. So that's what I came out in the garden to do today. I'm just going to give a really good soaking of water, especially to some of these little plants in containers. I've got all these lettuce seedlings and arugula seedlings that are looking really good. And I just want to make sure that they don't get, too frozen. I don't think that 27 Fahrenheit is going to be enough to really take out any of these seedlings, even though they are small, partially because I am in such a protected little garden. The benefit of having a teeny little townhouse garden like this is that we're super protected. We've got these big fences and I've got all these stone pavers here too. So I think that they definitely soak up some of the heat during the day. It's luckily a nice sunny day today, so we've got a lot of good sunlight on these pavers. I think that definitely helps. Like the little seedlings here, they should have a bit of warmth radiating back from hopefully the patio, and that should help them. The arugula is looking so good. They're all just doing super well, so I would be really sad to see them go. But these are all cold hardy plants as well, so they can handle a little bit of a frost. If it gets really freezing, then we might lose some. But yeah, 27 Fahrenheit, that's just barely dipping into what's considered a killing frost. So it hopefully will be just fine. But I figured I'll just come out and make sure I water everything really well, and get at least some help for the little plants. These big established lettuce plants definitely should do fine. I don't really anticipate there being any major concern for them. But again, I'll water them in. Look at how big the alliums are getting. These are gonna be some nice purple globe alliums. Alliums, wow. Some purple globe alliums. It should be really nice. My other pots of bulbs are still not doing well. This is the one that I had from last year that was super cute. It was beautiful last year, and look at it this year. I think I'm gonna go ahead after they're done blooming and just plant these bulbs out in the landscape and hopefully give them a chance to do better, because they're super stunted. These are technically supposed to be short little daffodils, and I've got a bunch out in the front yard that are doing beautifully, but they're not looking as great in here. They're extra stunted. And then of course there's some grape hyacinths in here too. Last year they looked amazing. It was an incredible little collection. This year not so much. So all of these are going to be planted out. And then the rest of my daffodils, I don't know. I'm still waiting. And the hyacinths didn't even come up, and I think that those bulbs must have gotten killed in the really cold temperatures that we had this winter. Because all of my neighbors' hyacinths that they have in the ground and stuff are all coming up. I've been kind of watching all the neighbors' plants, and yeah, they're all coming up, and those are not coming up in the containers. So we did have that one really intense freeze right around Christmas time. It got down to I think 7 degrees or something, and I think it must have just been too cold, especially with the bulbs being in containers. If I thought it through better, I should have put them in at least the unheated greenhouse or brought them inside, stuck them in the garage or something. I didn't think that the bulbs would have that much of a hard time with it. But I don't know. I am at least encouraged to see that some of the little grape hyacinths are coming up in that container, because I had a bunch of them planted actually out in the front yard and none of them came back this year. So I don't know, must I guess been more repercussions from that freeze, but oh well, we'll just see. We'll see if these daffodils ever come up and bloom. I assume at some point they must, but we're definitely in full daffodil season here in Virginia, so those are way behind. As far as anything else that I said, I'm not going to cover anything for tonight. I am going to close the unheated greenhouse. I am going to go ahead and water in here. Look at these. These are potatoes. I grew potatoes in this grow bag last year, and I must have left a couple in there because those are potatoes. So I'm going to water those. I'm going to water these seedlings in here. They're getting a little dry. I really need to water these guys. But good things are happening. I'm so excited to see all this milkweed doing really well in this money plant. The bachelor buttons are going to be ready to plant out pretty soon. And I may direct sow a few of those in a minute here too. And I'm starting to see, sorry, these are the bachelor buttons. This is the Joe Pye weed, which I have struggled with germination. I've struggled to get it going, and I'm really excited to see that I've actually got some Joe Pye weed sprouting in there. So that is pretty cool. Wow. I think it helped that because they've been out in this unheated greenhouse, they've gotten a little bit of exposure to the cold temperatures. So if they're kind of seed that needs cold stratification, Joe Pye weed is one of them. Have some exposure to cold temperatures in order for them to germinate and sprout. So being out here in the greenhouse, it looks like was enough that they got some of that cold exposure and they're sprouting. So that's exciting. I've planned out now, I'm going to do a whole little mini, bless you, oh my goodness, a whole little mini pollinator garden area. I'm really excited about it. So I will take you with me on that process. But the Joe Pye weed is going to be part of that. So anyways, I'm going to water in here and close this greenhouse up. Now we are, let's see, we're at about 1 p.m. So I have to wait a little bit longer before I close the unheated greenhouse. It's already about 80 in here, which is good. I'm happy with that temperature. I've got the door open, but on a hot sunny day like today, well, not hot, it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, but that's pretty warm. You know, we're here in March. So on a 50-degree day with sun like this greenhouse is going to heat up so quickly. And it's kind of amazing. If you don't get out here and open it up and vent it, it'll get well over 100 degrees. This thermometer only goes to 120, and it will get to the top of the thermometer by about noon to 1 p.m. So I don't want to close it up yet. My ideal, if I can remember, and I probably should just like set an alarm on my phone or something, my ideal would be to come out here at about like 3 p.m., 3:30, just as the sun is sort of starting to go toward going down, and just close it up so that it gets, you know, as much of the nice warm air and can kind of hold some of this heat. And it will hold it pretty well. It should stay above freezing if I can do that. I would expect it to stay above freezing in here. Now, the only container that I'm thinking I might move into here for the night, just as an extra precaution, is my herb container that I just planted. Not really that the herbs need it. They probably don't. They're probably just fine. But because I bought them from the garden center, I know that they were in the greenhouses in the garden center, and they've been outside for the last, oh gosh, it's been over a week, about a week. But even though they've been outside, we've had warmer temperatures. So they haven't had a 27-degree night. And I just, you know, I don't want to risk it. So I'm going to move that pot. I'll show you. This is the pot with all of the herbs, and it's looking really pretty. They're all doing really well. So it would be a shame to lose that. So I'm going to put that in the unheated greenhouse. I guess I'll move it right now. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, it's heavy. It did rain last night, so there is still some water in these guys. Put that in there. And then the other one, I'm still trying to give these little ranunculus a shot. I don't know. So I lost 3 of them. 2 of them are still doing okay. So I'm going to put them in here. We'll protect them tonight. And we'll see if that's enough to save them. I don't know. Just in the middle of doing a little bit of sweeping, so I think I am going to finish sweeping up, and then we will water all the pots and get everything ready for the night. I absolutely love having this drip in the garden, and I really need to set up more to the containers. That's one of my projects I meant to do over the winter. I need to add it in. I may try, probably, well, I don't know. We'll see if I can get it done this week. That would be amazing. I may try to get some more drip set up to the containers, at least some of them, just because it helps, especially to get like a really nice deep, long watering in. It's so hard to like actually give your plants as much water as they need. You have to really soak it in until the water's coming out the bottom. That can be just really hard to do. And especially when you're rushed and you're busy and all of that. So drip was like one of the best things I added to my garden. And this is reminding me, if I have time, I should try to add at least a few little sprinklers going out to some of the containers, the big containers, because that would just be so nice this summer. I know I'll thank myself if I do it, but I don't know if I'm going to get that done. Anyways, the garden is all watered. She looks good. Hopefully, I set a reminder and I get back out here and close that greenhouse. I'm going to do that, set that on my phone right now. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow in tomorrow's video. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.